There are so many trends and memes going around right now of I'm such a hard client that I made my therapist need therapy. Or I won therapy today. I made my therapist cry. Today, I'm going to address that idea that every therapist has their own therapy and share my story and experience with that. You're watching Elevate with Emily. I'm a marriage and family therapist, and I love learning how to love people better. So I can tell you that most of the therapists I know have talked about their own therapeutic journey, how they have gone to couples counseling with their spouse, or how they've done their own individual therapy. And many of them were currently in therapy when I talked to them. And so odds are your therapist does go to therapy and or has been to therapy. And therapy can be this on again, off again thing. As you know, you can make some progress and be chilling, and then life throws you another curveball because life is life. Thank you. And so they might need that extra support. While I can't speak to why every therapist needs to go to therapy because it is confidential and super personal, I can speak from my personal experience. It's not about my clients. I do not go to therapy because of my clients, because what they share with me is really difficult and really hard. I get that all the time. Like, man, you must, hear some really hard things, and like your job is so hard. Like you must need your own therapy, like because of that, right? Not necessarily. Personally, I started therapy probably 3 or 4 months ago. And again, I had done therapy before in college in my young adult years, and then I took a break, and then I stopped, and years passed. And then in my master's program, I kind of started thinking, hey, maybe I need some more therapy, but I was really poor at that point because I'm like paying for grad school and like trying to do all this stuff. It was crazy. So I didn't have like the time and the money for it at that point, but I really could have used it. But there came a point where I was like, yeah, no, I really need this. Doesn't even matter how much it's going to cost at this point. And so I got back into therapy, and the reason was not because of my clients. It was because of my own processing. Today, I graduated my own therapy, and I can tell you the reason I went to therapy was not because of my clients. Yes, I hear crazy stuff. Yes, it can take an emotional toll on me, but I know how to deal with that and process that. Where I get stuck is in my own problems, in my own self-confidence. And as I've mentioned before, I'm an anxiously attached person who is now so much more secure. But that anxiousness really threw me for a loop because as I was doing therapy, imposter syndrome times 100 started showing up, right? And so I was questioning myself. I was questioning my worth. I thought, I'm not good enough. People, why would they pay that much money to see me? What do I even have to offer? My own anxious tendencies were getting in the way of me being able to do good work for my clients. But I didn't go into therapy and say, oh, I had this really tough client. Let me dump on you what happened and let me get better. Quite honestly, that is what supervision and consultation is for. That is where we go to get support for our clients. That is where we share difficult cases, where we're stuck, what we need help and guidance on. When we go to our own therapy, it's about ourselves. We also need that space that is non-judgmental and loving, and a place where we can be seen and heard. Those darkest, most insecure parts of us can be witnessed and healed. A little bit about my therapy journey. I worked in an environment that really took my self-esteem down, took my confidence down. And I didn't have the level of support I was needing as a new therapist. And so I was always questioning myself, always uncertain if what I was doing was right or good or sufficient. And honestly, those tendencies came with me from childhood. As I went to therapy and started doing my own work, I realized that there's so many memories of this younger Emily who loved to talk and share what was on her mind and was just bubbly and excited. And then frequently, like you can see the tears coming up because this is still like kind of a pain point for me, but she was frequently told, be quiet. You talk too much. I got the nickname Emily Talks a Lot. No hard feelings, but it's just kind of sad that like my family, joking, loving, trying to be their best selves, not really knowing what to make of me, slapped on these nicknames and these labels, not really meaning anything by it. but I took it as I'm too much for people. People don't want to hear me. People don't care to listen. And then when I did have someone who actually like wanted to listen, they asked me how I was. It was like, oh, I never get to talk because people are always shutting me off. So then it's like word vomit, and then I would talk a lot to the point where they got really tired of listening because they probably were not expecting that much to come out of me. And so then they would eventually zone out or change the topic or stop listening, which then reinforced this belief inside of me that I'm not worth listening to, that I don't have much to offer. I have to work so hard to get them to listen and to love me. And so all of those insecurities were there, and they manifested in many different ways. In dating, in friendships, and then as I become a therapist, they start manifesting in therapy. I'm not good enough for my clients. Oh, look, that client ended therapy. It's because I wasn't good enough, right? All of these perceptions coming from this anxious place that then led me to try that much harder to like study and pick up all these extra trainings and seek out help and like express my worries and vent to people. And then they're like, yo, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Like, chill, you're fine. And then I kind of felt like dismissed and whatnot. And so as I went to my own therapy, it was so cool to be able to identify those childhood messages that are affecting me today, and then have emotional corrective experiences and heal from those. To be able to, as this adult self who knows how to listen to other people and how to love other people, to be able to go back to that younger Emily who just wanted to be seen and heard and loved and offer that love to her. And I've noticed such big changes in myself as I'm going through stressors and ups and downs. I'm more confident that I'm worthy of love, that it's not about me, that it's not all on me. When clients in therapy, it could be because they actually naturally, ended because they graduated, just like I did today, right? Or it could be because it wasn't a good fit, and that's not on me. That's not a reflection on me as a good or bad therapist. It's just I literally can't be a good fit for every single person. Or it could be that they had financial constraints or something else came up in their personal lives and they weren't ready anymore. There could be a million reasons why they stopped going to therapy that have nothing to do with me. And I was able to stop taking that so personally. Or I was able to have confidence in the work that I did. I could be more present with them because I wasn't so in my head worrying, do they like me? Am I doing the right thing? Should I go here? Should I go there? What am I even doing? I was just present, and I could hear them and reflect back to them. And as my knowledge in therapy also increased and my confidence in the model of EFT increased, then I could know I was doing really great work and I could start to see those outcomes. And I had the space to do that because my own anxieties were settled and secured and calm. So that's just a little bit on my own therapy journey. And so if you ever are curious why your therapist is going to therapy, odds are very likely it's not because of you. It's for their own personal traumas and scars and struggles. And as they're going to therapy, they're going to be that much more available and a better therapist for you because they've been able to manage those parts and defenses that come up. They notice themselves getting anxious. And it's not because of you, you just happen to trigger it, but anyone could have triggered it. And then as they work on that piece and heal those traumas from the past, then they're able to sit with it better and be present and be the kind of therapist that you need. Honestly, I would say it's a really good sign if your therapist is in therapy because it means that they're making sure that they are their best selves to then help you become your best self. Thank you guys for watching today's video. I look forward to hearing your thoughts about this topic in the comments below, and I will catch you in the next video.